Even before the advent of the HENSA protests, the youth has been my focal point. Security is a challenge. If you don't have if you don't have youth that are gainfully employed, you have youth restlessness. When you have youth restlessness, you have high crime rate. When you have high crime rate, your GDP will be very low. You spend so much money on security. Look at what happened in the northeast now. The government is spending so much money in buying arms, ammunition. And if in a peradventure, most of these things are not happening in Nigeria, I think the government have no business in spending billions of dollars in buying this, buying buying that. They should have used that money for investment purposes, like creating new jobs, like infrastructural facilities. Also, these are some of the things that we need to take into consideration: unemployment, security, and opportunities. You see, our environment again, we need, by the time God help us to get to the Lagos State House of Assembly, with this recent happening that we've seen, I will be able to fashion out a legislation, lobby, policy, or use our oversight function to bring in changes in some of these areas that are affecting and militating us as a nation from development. Like, we need critical infrastructure, we need cheap energy. If you have cheap energy, most of these people will be engaged. When you produce something, the price of those goods produced in Nigeria will be competitive. Are you getting it? To any outside world. And when your goods are moving, when people are buying your goods, it shows that your GDP will be high. When your GDP is high, it shows that unemployment will be reducing. When unemployment is reducing, it shows that the lives of the citizens will be better off, like what we have in China. Look at textile industry, for example. Why do we have to rely solely on China produced textiles? We have capable and moribund industries in Nigeria that are foremost to textile company. Why are they moribund? The simple question is that the cheap energy, the infrastructural facility, the good road networks are not there. And I must commend the present government of Muhammadu Buhari. We've identified this lacuna, and that is why the government is building rail from Lagos to Kano, from Kano to Maiduguri. That is the more reason why the government is bringing the second Niger bridge, so that we can have a very good road network. When we have a look at Lagos Ibadan, it's been a major eyesore. And most of these projects are white elephant talks projects. So for governments to be doing most of these white elephant talks projects, as we have mentioned, at the same time, it shows that there must be pains and gains. The pains are that Nigerians are going through now, spending much more money on infrastructure that are supposed to have been available for almost 4 to 5 decades, but are not just there. And there is no, as an economist, there is no country that can develop without you having the basic infrastructure for you to propel, that will propel your development and your growth. So we are going through a lot, and it's the real fact that we just need to tie ourselves and die, or do we need to move forward? It is a choice between life and death. But I think by the time this Lagos-Ibadan expressway is completed, it will ease our pain. Though we are borrowing to do most of these things, and because the government that succeeded this government have not been able to take the mantle of leadership when the price of oil was over $100 per barrel, to have made some of these infrastructures in place. But a government that is now, the price of oil all over the world is now hovering between $40 to $45, and we have challenges of providing critical infrastructure to our people. Don't you think that we are in a dire situation? It's a quagmire, but we have hope, and our destiny is that we must develop along with our counterparts all over the world. So it's a pity, but I think it's a pain that we all need to go through, so that we can get to where we can start planning our development. And most so, look at it again. The Lagos State government has provided basic infrastructure like the BR2 buses, and most of these infrastructures that have been that were burnt down. Don't you think it's bring pains and hardships to the people? So that is why I'm talking that everyone responsible will need an attitudinal change. And you see, it is not even only government property that has been destroyed, right. Even private properties. Look at ShopRite, for example. You know how many individuals they have their own individual shop within that outlets? Are you getting it? What are we now telling them? Are we now telling them that we are sending them back to where they started before? And they have 2, 3, 4 staffs that work with them. They pay taxes to the government, and they take care of their family. So with this recent action that displayed by some few disgruntled elements within our society, I think it sent a bad signal that investment opportunity in Nigeria, the confidence will be very low, and more so, a country like that, people will not have trust. Capital flow into the country will be will be affected grossly. So these are some of the things that I call attitudinal changes. It is not when most of these things are being addressed holistically by National Orientation Agency. The responsibility of a citizen to its community must be addressed, must be discussed. Are you getting it? But we cannot get to where we are getting.
After the damages of the NSAS protest and even COVID-19, because we know that so many, aside from the damages done by NSAS, we know what damage that the COVID did to the economy across the world. What method are you going to use to help people recover? Economical recovery methods do you have?
Number one, this federal government has done, you see, in the history of this country, the youth of this country should take advantages, the opportunity available in this government to better their life. The government has just announced a 75 billion naira investment grant to youth from ages of 18 to 30. You see, it shows that the government really understands the age brackets that are economically active, to take opportunities. The youth should lock into this. It's 75 billion naira is not a lot of money. And let me even tell you again, even some of these states that were affected by this course are already set up investment funds again to to collaborate the federal government's effort. That is a way. An individual cannot do it alone. It is only government, and by supporting the government, that we can get to where we feel. People should go more on government policy. People should take confidence and ownership of their government. People should trust. You see, we don't have any other country. Canada cannot accept me as its first citizen. America will not even accept me as their first citizen. The only country I know that have given me the opportunity to prosper and flourish in life is Nigeria. So that is the more reason why all of us must come together and guide Nigeria. We are the highest importer of rice. Do you know what that means as an economist? Because you have that question. Can you please explain to them why the price of oil and rice in Nigeria presently is higher than what it was before? Because for being the first proactive governors in Nigeria to have monitored and positioned its health personnel in the proper perspective by making sure that the epicenter of what was supposed to be tragedy in Nigeria was managed. When they do what is good, I think it's good for them to commend them. So, and that aside, the way our National Orientation Agency and attitudinal changes, because Nigeria is also a global player in the world. So, if you have people that travel from here to London, from London to Paris, from Paris to UK, and you expect us not to have cases like that, we are only dissociating ourselves from the global world, and which we cannot do presently. So the best thing is for us to take all the NCDC one regulation strictly